Welcome to one of my favourite rose gardens. This is the St Kilda Botanical Gardens, and it's just a small rose garden here in the Botanical Gardens, but I've been coming here for years, and I have recorded so many meditations, activations for my client, received a lot of downloads, all here, sitting in this garden. My son lives very near here in Elwood, and I've been down staying with him for a few days, and I'm due to fly back home today, but really wanted to just capture this place for you because, you know what? Life is a bed of roses. So I have been doing a series on the rose garden and just sharing messages from different colour roses. And I came down here thinking, I'm going to share a message from one of these roses. So I had a little wander around the garden, and they were all sort of going, pick me, pick me. And so I didn't get, but there wasn't one that stood out like, yeah, you're the one. And as I was just tuning into the roses, I was tuning into their frequency. The rose is the embodiment of the Venus energy, the Venusian energy here on the earth plane. She holds the frequency of the sacred feminine. And so as I was tuning into them, I was getting more of a sense of Venus than I was the individual roses. It is like they were saying, we are each a voice of Venus. We each are an aspect of her. And so what we are sharing individually is a message from her. And then I thought, well, maybe today I'll go back to the source. Maybe I'll tune in to the Venus energy. And as I thought about that and what do I want to share from Venus, or what does she want to share, I realized that she wanted to share her message, but not in English, in light language. And so I have decided that I will share some light language with you today. I will bring through a light language transmission from Venus, and it will embody the essence of all of these roses. And it's as though it's the combined essence of them brought through in a frequency, and that frequency is the frequency of Venus. So I have been speaking light language, if you like, or light language has been flowing through me for probably 15 to 20 years, ever since I really started doing personal sessions, which were sound healing at that time. It just started to come through. I would sound, and then there would be some light language coming through, and very often it came through in the sound as well. And so I never was like, oh, I want to speak light language. How do I open to light language? It was just like it was just the frequency that came through. And the way I've described it to clients or anyone asking about it is simply that I feel, to me, light language is a frequency that is higher than a spoken language, such as English or French or German or Spanish. Light language holds a higher frequency. And so when it's coming through, it's bypassing the mind, because when you hear me speak English, that's going through your mind before it's absorbed into your body, before it affects your body. And I feel like light language, because you don't understand it, it just goes straight through into your body. It brings you the activation energetically without needing to go through the filter of the mind. And until recently, I hadn't really tried to place that light language. And it was only recently, it just hit me one day. I was like, oh my gosh, of course, this is the Venusian language. This is a frequency of Venus that I'm bringing through, which is why what I speak will sound different to what others speak. And now I don't always speak the same. It comes through in different frequencies depending on the purpose or the person receiving it. But it suddenly was so clear to me, of course it's Venusian. I am a very Venusian being. I'm a Taurus. I'm ruled by Venus. My chart is very Venusian. Interestingly, even my birthday is the 8th of May, so it's the 8-5. And for those of you who know the pattern that Venus makes in the sky, every 8 years she actually forms the 5-pointed star, or the 5-petaled rose. And so even the fact that that's my birth date is the 8 and the 5 is very Venusian. And of course 8 plus 5 is 13, which is the number of the goddess. And so I feel like I've been guided that way, although I probably haven't realized it fully until more recent times. So why not bring through the light language of Venus? I was just talking about the 5-pointed star and the 5-petaled rose, and I've got one here. This is, the 5-petaled rose is the original rose. Okay, it was the 5 points. So it is a very sacred number. It is a very Venusian number. And as I said, the physical rose came here on the earth plane, embodying the frequency of the sacred feminine, which is the Venusian frequency. And we are also immersed in restoring the sacred feminine within us at the moment, because until that is fully restored, we cannot be the chalice for the sacred masculine. The sacred feminine is the chalice for the sacred masculine. And the Venusian energy is particularly strong at this time. The rose energy, the rose line energy is very strong at this time, because we are really in those final stages of restoring the sacred feminine so that we can be the chalice for the sacred masculine, so that we can move into this place of harmony, into this new earth frequency. Okay, so that's enough chatting. I'm going to get into the transmission now. Let me just see, I'm just going to have a look around to see if there's anywhere I feel to be. Oh, okay, this little red rose right next to me just went, stand right next to me. This one here. So this is where we're going to be for this frequency, for this transmission, I mean. So close your eyes and receiving this into whichever part of your body you feel to direct it. Know that you are being held in the arms, in the essence of Venus and the rose as you receive this transmission. If there are any external sounds coming in, voices or birds or cars, receive them all as part of the transmission. They're all moving energy within you. Okay. So this is for the activation of the Venusian energy, the sacred feminine energy within you. Kurane kirane to situiran le bue kirane ku kushtanya tesea hiran le buiran tu hipueran ne kiran no tu kuhiran ne ku aprete sita kikho gonda Hakiran, Nikiran, Nepuia Krayan, Holehan, Dukran, Hukiran, Kikran, Costa, Hupue, Dia, Coranta, Sidia Lendoste, Coranta, Corianta, this deal and this day. Koshtayanta, Diko, Sianta. So this message will activate everyone differently. It will activate a different part of your energy body. Everyone will be affected differently, will receive it differently, depending on your current frequency and the frequency of that transmission that you choose to receive. So it's layered. So you can return and listen to this another time, and it will impact you quite differently. So this is a blessing to you from the Rose of Venus, from the great Venus herself, and blessings from the St Kilda Botanical Gardens. I'll see you next time.